It's the big time. It's the Benny Randall Show. It's the Benny Randall Show. It's the Benny Randall Show.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of the Benny Randall Show. I'm your host, Benny Randall Jr., aka The Motivator, aka your business advisor and friend. And you can learn more about me at bennyrandall.com. Or you can go over to Vanoy Radio and listen to this episode and all the other episodes. Or if you want to be part of our family and part of our community and get behind the scenes exclusive content, you go over to Patreon/Vanoy. And we got some tiers that you can be part of our private community that's only exclusive to you. No one else will see it unless they're part of the community. Let me tell you something. Today's show is extraordinary. Also, he's not just a amazing entrepreneur, but he's an amazing musician. And a lot of times I like to go back. There's so much things happening in the world of music. In the interest of full disclosure, I've known this gentleman for probably 150 years, if that need be. I'm just playing with you. But here, what it really boils down to is very, very, very simple. His name is Derrick Rahming, and he's the brainchild behind Afro-Rican. All right. If you never heard,
All you got. Give it all you got. Give it all you got. Give it all you got.
that was him. You know what I mean? And the other classic hits he have. So I want to bring him onto the stage, all right? And I'm telling you, this is going to be a show you won't forget. Hey, Mr. Derrick Ramin, how you doing, brother?
What's up, man? What's up, Mr. Randall, Mr. Super Entrepreneur? What's happening with you?
It's not a game, it's a lifestyle. So, for those people that may not have be aware of you, maybe they was living under a rock or something, tell my audience a little bit about yourself.
Um, Artist, DJ, producer. I've been in the game since 87-ish, somewhere around there. And that's just around the time I started recording music. But prior to recording, I was a DJ, South Florida DJ. And I did that for probably 10 years, successfully, should I say. I dabbled around with some, you know, um, toy turntables, should I say, for a while until I upgraded to some techniques. And that's pretty much where I got my feel, my vibe for music. Because, and I personally think that most DJs, most producers, started out spinning music. That's where you get a good opportunity to see what make people dance. Because if when you're DJing, you can, you're up here, you see these people partying, you play a whack ass song, you know that that type of beat is not gonna work. So when I started producing music, I was always able, as I put a song together, I thought when I put this, introduce this part to a song, will people leave the floor or would they stay? So, and that's how I produce my music and been producing music for the last 30 something years with that blueprint right there. So, hey, that's my game, man.
Yes, man, I'm gonna tell you that's amazing, amazing. So let me ask you this. The music business has changed versus when you had started in the music business. What are some of the changes you like and what are some of the changes you do not like now in the music business?
I'm gonna start with the things that I like first. The ease in which a person can release a song worldwide, all over the world. I'm loving that because back in the days we had to jump through all kind of hoops just to get your song out there and forget radio. If you had a song, you went to radio, and that really hasn't changed. It's some payola, it's some this, it's always been. It's who you know. It's a little bit of that. But at the end of the day, now you can just upload your song and you can have a song out worldwide. No one might know that that song exists. That's when marketing come in, but nevertheless you have the opportunity to put it out. That's number one. Number two is ownership. um Artists, producer are much more um knowledgeable about the business and some of the streaming services and ways that you can launch your music without a major record label. That's not a real necessity anymore that you have a record label. Now, money is always one of those tools that you'll need to do some marketing. But if you got a good strategy, you can almost get your song popping with minimum cash flow. But it all that might include more labor, making videos, getting behind the scenes, curating an audience, your fan base from scratch, and letting those people go out and be your foot soldiers. um is that's new. I like that about it. What I don't like is almost the saturation of bad music. People just throwing out. It's good that you can put your music out, but I also hate the fact that everybody's throwing out music, and a lot of it is sheer garbage. But here's the thing about that, though. I don't have to listen to it. I can just switch over, create my own playlist on Spotify or something, and I could just listen to exactly what I want to listen to. The amount of money you get for streams and whatnot, that's ridiculous. That's not really, if you're an artist, that's not something that you are basing your finances around. You're not basing your finances around um are you going to make money from streaming. That's not going to happen. But there's so many other ways you can do it that the streaming is almost a marketing tool.
I mean, do people actually even need a major label now? Because, like you said, the majority of the money probably not going to come from streaming. It's probably going to come from doing your shows, on-site appearances, and stuff like that. Um, what's the role of a major label now? We still have one or two that's still around but what is their role now outside of them trying to get 360 deals right now because the landscape has changed. So they're really not in control, but they can throw a lot of money to something.
See that you I mean you said it. You answered your own question. That's what's up. See, a major record label, they're so plugged in, they can almost have overnight success for an artist when you have to grind it. You have to grind and grind and grind to make it happen, which they can just make a couple of phone calls and make you pop. But the thing of that, they own the majority share of the master recording, so they have stake in the game. So if they're, spending a bunch of money, is they're spending a bunch of money because they know on the back end they're going to collect. So but do you need a major record label? Yes and no. Yes and no. If you got a bag, bro, under your bed full of money, no, you don't need a major record label. If you got a team of people that's willing to grind with you on social media and do some leg work, hit up the clubs. I'm old school, so I still believe in you still got to do a little footwork. Not everything can be done with Twitter fingers. You still have to get out there and maybe shake some hands with some people, because some of the older people with the bag, they're used to that. They may not know even they're not might not even be a part of social media, but they got some money, and you can convince them, hey, look, investing into this music project I'm doing. And those people, you need to that's a face to face, hitting up a DJ, with the MP3, talking to him, buying him a couple of drinks, going to another club, getting his feedback. He might say, dude, you got something, or I would play this if you made the intro shorter, longer. And that's from a DJ aspect, somebody who play music all day. You can't do that over social media, bro. It's just a different vibe.
So how important do you think social media really is then? Because there's a lot of artists that have been broke on social media. They've been broken through social media, excuse me. And they've been able to build humongous audience. And a lot of these new artists are making boatloads of money that older artists did not make back then because they're controlling where they show up. They're controlling how the people get the money and get the music. And like you said, you don't have that middleman no more. So when you look at how they're doing it today versus how it had to be done back then, what is your thoughts?